WWE commentator Corey Graves has called out the company after he was reportedly moved down to NXT from the main roster. Graves went to Twitter and sounded off on this decision and even gave a little bit of insight at why he has been unhappy with WWE for a little bit. We're going to talk about exactly what Corey Graves said, what it means, and the big question everyone wants to know, could we see Corey Graves in another wrestling company? We'll get to that. We're also going to talk about Backstage reaction to Penta's WWE debut. He made his debut last night against Chad Gable in a banger of a match. We'll get to that and also get to why some talent weren't exactly thrilled with some of the things that went down last night. All that and much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, let's begin by talking about Corey Graves, who for the better part of a decade has been WWE's lead commentator, at least from the color commentary perspective. Him and Michael Cole have had a great relationship. They have been probably one of the most dynamic announce teams there's been, albeit under Vince McMahon, they were really, really squandered. But overall, the talent that Corey Graves has as an announcer, is definitely not in doubt. However, recently, he was moved down to NXT with Wade Barrett and Joe Tessitore being the lead announcers on SmackDown and Pat McAfee and Michael Cole doing the lead commentary on Raw. It seemed like he was the odd man out. And for the first time since this decision was made, Graves took to Twitter to sound off on WWE about this decision. Graves said in a tweet on Monday night, quote, "Imagine chasing your dream, then being told, not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life to something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then it was time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told, you're not famous enough for your own job." Just in case you've wondered where I've been, he then later on Tuesday morning actually tweeted out a bit of an advertisement for NXT saying, "I got a lot to say tonight." So Corey Graves seemingly had a moment Monday night where he let it fly. And, for people who may be asking, is this a work? Is this what's going on? It does seem to be the case that he's not exactly happy with what went down, according to a lot of credible reporting that's out there. Now, the big thing to note here is you look at the landscape of this commentary team right now. You have, Pat McAfee, who, for whatever reason, WWE has decided, the reason is pretty simple, to be honest. It's Pat McAfee brings an energy and an influential presence about him that not many other commentators bring in WWE. He, of course, is the host of one of the most watched sports shows in the entire country. He is leading ESPN's main coverage for hours on end, and he's just someone that people like. He's become a bit of a meme and a pop culture phenomenon in his own right. So when you have that, of course, if WWE has an in with him and has the opportunity to bring him in, and he has the rapport that he does with Michael Cole, they're going to want him there. The byproduct of that is someone's going to be the odd man out. And they seem to really like Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett as a commentary duo. Of course, Corey Graves was doing commentary with Wade Barrett for a little bit there, but then that quickly faded out. And it seems like, according to Graves' own words, that he was basically told that he wasn't famous enough to do his own job. That is what he is claiming here. And, of course, the interpretation that I take from that is he's looking at Pat McAfee, Again, someone who WWE has a good reason to bring in. He's going to bring in eyeballs and he's going to bring in interest. He's literally every Monday, he's doing the Pat McAfee show live from whatever arena Monday Night Raw is in, and it's bringing eyeballs to the product and bringing awareness of his presence there. WWE is going to choose that because they are in growth mode. They are in exposure mode. They want to be the talk of the town every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday night, sometimes on Saturdays as well. So that's kind of what he's facing. The other interesting nugget that he threw in there in the beginning that some people are actually overlooking, I think, is the idea that his dream, his real dream, was taken away from him and that he ended up doing something that's dream adjacent. The dream, of course, being professional wrestling as an in-ring wrestler, and the dream adjacent job being a color commentator. And this is, of course, we know the story of Corey Graves. About literally like 10 years ago, he suffered a series of concussions that ended up ending his in-ring career. And he seems to at least indicate that if it had been up to him, that would not have been the route that he would have taken at the time. And maybe there's a part of Corey Graves that wants to get cleared. Maybe there's a part of Corey Graves that wants to look at, okay, if I have one last run, one last match, whatever it is, what would it look like? And is it worth what I'm doing here? And that begs the question, do we think Corey Graves would end up leaving WWE? And we don't know, because we don't know how long Corey Graves has left on his deal. He could be locked up for the next couple of years and not be able to do anything. But one thing we do know is there have definitely been people who have left WWE, color commentators, announcers, whatever they may be, who have left WWE and been successful otherwhere. You have other places, excuse me. You have Tom Phillips, who is doing a great job in TNA. You, of course, have Renee Paquette, who's doing a fantastic job in AEW. So there is a stepping stone and there is a precedent for that. It's just a matter of, like, would that end up happening? Like, would he, and would it end up happening in a time frame that Corey would still want to leave? Because remember, Pat McAfee, especially when it comes to later on this year, like when he starts doing college football stuff again in August, he's not going to be around on Mondays. So eventually that Raw spot is going to open up, and you would think that Corey Graves would be the perfect person to slide right into that spot. But if he's disgruntled, if he's not going to want to be there, that's a whole different case and scenario. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we'll keep a close eye on whatever happens and what he says. Who knows? Maybe he takes another shot live on NXT. That would be insane stuff. More insane stuff. Hell froze over in WWE last night as Penta, yes, Penta, made his WWE Raw debut on Netflix, facing off against Chad Gable in what I believe was an absolutely stellar match. It showcased everything that was great about Penta, and I thought that it was the perfect length, the perfect time, the perfect way to show Penta. He had an amazing promo afterwards, a very heartfelt and genuine promo that I thought that was like a bit of a star-making moment for him in front of this crowd, many of whom may not exactly be too familiar with Penta. They may know the name, they may know the hype, but they may not know what he's able to do. And if you are one of those people, get freaking ready, because this guy can go a million miles an hour. I'm getting so tongue-tied today, guys. I apologize. It's early, haven't had my coffee yet. It is what it is. But Penta's going to cook in WWE. However, there were some people who were a little bit upset with some of the things that went down on Monday Night Raw last night. And we are now getting some backstage reaction to Penta's match in particular and his debut. Penta's debut match and promo went way longer than he was initially planned to go, which led to time being trimmed from other segments later in the show. There were some talent obviously not thrilled about that. That said, management was happy with the debut and with Penta's live reaction live. They were also happy with the early merch sales. So WWE management, of course, they're going to be happy with Penta. He is a merch machine. Those masks that they are selling on shop.com is something that, You would think any other company would go out there and produce at mass, but that didn't happen. WWE had them ready to go, and they knew exactly what to do with Penta, and I think they're gonna shine with Penta in WWE. That's for damn sure. When you look at the idea of people not being thrilled, I think it's people are going to say, "Oh my God, they're mad at Penta." No one's mad at Penta. I think the anger or the not thrilledness is more directed towards management for not managing things correctly. And you also look at the show itself. This is a 2.5 hour show. They probably could have gone an extra couple of minutes if they really needed to, especially considering they were on the West Coast. You had time, but it is what it is. They didn't, and some people are seem to be a little bit upset at management about that. But of course, no heat on Penta. People need to stop. Penta has heat. No one's saying that. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section though what you guys thought about Penta's debut. Was it good? Was it horrible? Did he get buried? No, he didn't. Let me know in the comment section though. Also, let me know what you guys think about this Corey Graves situation. It's getting a little messy over there. I want to hear from you. Be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for those of you who have tuned in thus far. I really appreciate it. And until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.